Steve, Part-Time Barbecue. Smoking a pork butt today. We have guests coming for tomorrow. I don't want to be working on Sunday. We're smoking it today, pulled pork sandwiches tomorrow. Here's how we do it. This is a Swift 11-pound bone-in pork shoulder. It's pretty well trimmed. We're going to clean it up a little bit. Blueshog pork marinade. We're going to use that as an injection into the pork butt. And for rubs today, Deadbird 180 perfect pork. So as you can see, I really didn't have to do any trimming. This pork butt was really clean. I just removed a little bit of fat here. I've left the fat cap on the bottom because when I'm smoking, the heat's coming from the bottom. So I want that fat cap on the bottom to protect the meat. Now I am going to inject, and I think you've seen that before. I've just mixed the Blueshog per instructions, and we're going to inject to add some moisture and a little bit of flavor. So pro tip, when you're pulling out the needle, hold your thumb over the needle hole so it doesn't get all over your kitchen. If you watched my previous videos on brisket and pork butt cooking, you may remember that I had a pro tip, which I did not follow today. That pro tip is put your meat inside a plastic bag and inject. So when the injection squirts out, even if you plug the holes, you'll still have some leakage and squirters. You don't have extra cleanup in your kitchen. So off camera, I cleaned the kitchen. I should have followed my own pro tip. I didn't. And there you go. So at this point, on goes the DB180 perfect pork. You've seen me apply rubs. We're going to shake the rub on and pat it in. We do not rub rubs. And we're going to season all sides. Here's what it looks like when it's done. Look at that color already. This is going to be awesome. Hey, here's another pro tip. Take your rub bottles, put a glove on them, so you're not handling your bottles with meat hands and meat juices. That's just gross. Nobody likes that. Use a glove. Throw the glove away, keep your bottles clean. When you're transporting, use a new glove, turn it upside down and cover the top so when the bottle falls over, you don't, and pops open, which they do, you don't lose your rubs. Just a simple pro tip. So I decided to smoke this pork butt today on a Weber kettle. So I have to admit something. I've never smoked anything this big on a Weber kettle before. So this is going to be my first time. So I'm going to set up a snake method for the charcoal, which we'll show in a second. I am going to be using a water pan to add moisture to the cook, and I'll be regulating the temperature with the air inlet on the bottom of the grill, this one here, and with the exhaust, which is on the dome. Right now I have half a chimney of Fogo Charcoal with some Fogo lighters that I am going to start, and we're going to establish it here, put some unlit charcoal on it, and the fire as it progresses will migrate around the kettle. Pork butt will be setting over here. The exhaust of the dome is going to be on this side. So basically I want the heat to come up through the fire and exhaust across and out over that pork butt. And that's how we're going to cook it. So this I am doing for my sons Sean and Christian, who we gave Weber kettles to, and they said, hey Dad, why don't you show us some Weber kettle stuff? Boys, here you go. In about 17 minutes, this chimney will be ready to dump. Put a couple wood chunks. I'm running apple wood chunks that I have buried in the snake, and one chunk of bourbon barrel. Grates are going to go on. Pork butt will be resting over the water, and we're going to start regulating the temperature real quick here. But this is how I set up a snake method in a Weber kettle cooking indirect today. Sneak peek of what the butt looks like after about 4 hours. Nice color. Gonna spritz it with a little bit of water, and the snake method is working out pretty darn good. So another pro tip, I'm going to be picking up that pork butt with my hands, and rather than just using nitrile gloves, which obviously keep your hands clean but will burn your hands, just put on a pair of cotton gloves underneath. It gives you some thermal insulation and allows you to pick up the butt. So here we go. We're going to take this pork butt in and wrap it down, and we are going to wrap with more butter, some honey, some apple juice, and some brown sugar, and a little bit of barbecue sauce. So basically this is a competition kind of wrap in this. And you'll notice here I have 3 layers of aluminum foil for protection. I don't want to tear the aluminum foil. I want to provide a barrier that holds all the juices. Place the butter on the butt. I'm going to add a little bit of honey. A lot of honey. Just really trying to pack flavor into the outside of the crust. Nice handful of brown sugar. A little more DB 180 perfect pork rub. You'll layer some of that around the bottom. Apple juice. And today I'm using heygrillhey everything barbecue sauce. It's a really nice, evenly balanced barbecue sauce put out by Susie Bullock of heygrillhey. So give it a try. Put it back on the smoker. And here we are about 9 hours later. As you can see, about 206 internal temperature on the butt. It is feeling probe tender, which is actually more important than the final temperature. Always go by feel, probe tender. I'm going to take the butt in, and we are going to rest it a couple hours before we start to break it down and pull it. Been a fun cook. The Weber did pretty well. I did reload a couple times. It held pretty good. Pretty impressed. And not too bad. Here is the finished butt after resting about an hour and a half. It's still pretty warm, so we're going to vent it off and then break it down. But let me just focus in right there. Nice color from the smoke on the Weber kettle. It was a fun cook. Had a great time. I am so looking forward to trying this. And that'll be the next thing you see. Me stuffing pork in my mouth. Pork. My mouth. That's really good. Hey, this is a fun cook. Sean, Christian, I hope this helped you out. I hope you saw something that might help you on a future cook. I'm going to drain the au jus off this pork butt. We are going to separate it and reserve the au jus to put it back on the pulled pork and rehydrate it as we finish our work. So clean up on aisle 1. We're going to pull the bone out. Came out pretty clean. Some of the horn meat. My camera lady I'll take another bite. Here we go. That's good. That's real good. But you know what? It's going to be better after we pull it, re-spice it with some more rub to really spike it and make it just taste awesome, and then rehydrate it. It's going to be fantastic tomorrow for our sandwiches. All right, so gloves, cotton underneath for protection, and we're pulling. And this was the horn area, the money muscle, which would be on this end. Of course, this is for eating, not competition, but this is what wins competition. Just like that. Oh. Wish you could taste that, but you can't.
Cook your own.
Yeah, go cook your own. Follow the video. And here's the tubes in the money muscle down here. We're going to pull some of these. These make great pulled pork for competition. Look at how that pulls, nice and stringy. There's another tube, hence the reason they call it a tube. And we're going to see if we can get some of the AKA bacon, which is right here. This makes more great. Oh my goodness. I wish I cooked this good in competition with these. Oh my. All right. Anyway, enough of that. It's just fantastic. Hey, give the cook a try. So we started out with 11.5 pound butt, and we have a full half pan after pulling. And I'm going to spike it back with more Deadbird 180 perfect pork. And I'm going to hit it with Deadbird 180 sweet barbecue rub. It's a fantastic sweet rub. May look like a lot, it won't be. And here's the next thing we're going to do. We've taken our au jus and we've let it separate, and we're going to rehydrate with this handy gravy separator. And I made a mess on the floor. And now we're going to mix it up, taste it one more time, and then get ready for company tomorrow. By then, I should have the floor cleaned. All right. Hey, part-time barbecue. We had a great cook today. Long day cooking on the Weber Kettle. But man, did it produce some great Q today. Really happy with the results. So great Q. Just right there for your enjoyment. Give it a try. Steve, part-time barbecue. Out. See ya.